Someday you'll make something surprising with that.
All right, thanks so much for joining me. Just as a gentle reminder, we've got 2 more hours where I have no mic because of OBS recording issues. So I will try to read any of the lore that I pick up in the game and some of the dialogue options. I can't promise I'll read them all. But yeah, anyway, we are in Stormhaven. Yay! It's nice to be in a new map. I'm greatly enjoying it. So we gotta save some guy up here. Oh, I guess I just realized on top of it, you were missing about 30 minutes of a quest. I don't know, maybe 50. We land in Stormhaven, and a daughter runs up to us and asks us for help to save her father. And the story is that the mother fell into a cult and decided to sacrifice her husband to the god, our prince, Runic. And trying to do the sacrifice, she became hurt. So we're gonna save him.
Where's Gunnies? I have to find her.
Alright, this is sent to list. Over the years, I have recruited dozens to the ranks of supernal dreamers, but none of my recruits have made me nearly so proud as you have. The experiment on Koglid Village appears to have been met with significant success. Your work there has inspired us all and indeed caught the attention of our divine mistress. Vermina has sent some of her most potent minions to help spread our influence in Stormhaven. Dreadful Daedra, known as Omens, are working behind the scenes in places of power across this kingdom to mimic your achievement. With their aid, we will ensure that the Daggerfall Covenant is plunged into a nightmare from whence it will not be able to return. The task with which you now have been charged is unchanged, but no less critical. We will need hordes of Scamps, Clanfear, and Dremora to plague these lands and perpetuate the waking nightmare our mistress has envisioned. Make efforts to recruit local citizens to our cause, and if they will not join us, they may be used as vessels or blood sacrifices to aid in the summoning of Daedra. In Vermina's dark name, Nightcaller Chartran.
You are an unnaturally incredible hero among heroes. You saved my dad. I feel like I should be sad because of my mother, but I just can't help it. I'm so happy. Thanks to you.
I'm glad the two of you are safe now.
It's hard to look around here and feel safe, but I do, especially since you're here. When we rebuild the farm, I think I'll build a statue in your honor. And put it right over there.
Oh, well, thanks.
If you're willing, I might ask for one other favor.
Do you think I shared a bed with that woman and she nearly killed me? I suppose she may have been under the influence of that crazy cultist, Sensualist. That reminds me, I hate to ask anything else of you, but I think there may still be some danger.
What danger?
Well, the Scamp's running around here for one thing, but I have reason to believe there could be worse things coming if we don't act fast. That crazy Sensualist was telling Rosalie about these portals he had opened up around the farm.
We should destroy those portals.
My thoughts exactly, and I'd like to go out and do it myself. I wouldn't want Gunnies to lose both her parents. I think it might be smarter if you go, if you're willing, that is.
Ew. Be sure to wash your hands. And tranquility. And tranquility. Another chance at perfection.
Were those Daedra death screams I heard? Music to my ears. And you destroyed those damnable portals too. I think now we'll be safe. It's hard to believe that someone I don't even know would go so far out of their way to help us. There's hope now, at least. Thank you.
Hey, over here! Praise Akatosh. You'd be amazed how many people just walk by a fellow in dire circumstances. My sister and I were visiting our aunt's farm when the whole place went to oblivion in an oat basket. Crazy cultists and Daedra are killing everyone.
No one has come to your aid?
Not a soul. I don't think there's any hope of saving the farm. My aunt, my cousin, I think they may be dead. I just want to get my sister and go home to Camlorn. Is that so much to ask? But my sister is too scared. She won't come. She's locked herself up in the house we were staying in. I knocked on the door. I even begged her to come. You think you could try to persuade her? Her name is Marlene.
I'll go talk to her.
Thank you. I was beginning to lose faith. So many selfish people just walk by, abandoning me and my sister to fate. If you can just convince her to leave the house, then she and I can get out of here and go back to Camlorn.
What about the rest of your family?
I don't know. To tell you the truth, I'm not even that close to my aunt. My parents just sent us here to work the farm for a season. If you want to search for my aunt, that would be great. But I just want to get my sister and go home.
Weren't you just complaining about selfish people?
I know. They're terrible, aren't they? That's another reason why I just want to go back to Camlorn. People are nicer there, I think.
Good find, cohort.
Could you please? It's good that you've come along, friend. The Van family is in dire need of aid. If you could untie me, we could have a more civil conversation. The Supernal Dreamers. I should have seen this coming, but I failed, and I need your help to set matters straight. The Dreamers have captured Ingrid Van, the owner of this farm, and I fear they have dark plans for her.
What kind of dark plans?
I'm certainly eager to explain the situation further, but do you think we could continue the conversation over by the bridge?
Sure, let me untie you.
Come with me to the bridge. We can speak safely there. Perhaps we can now have a civil conversation. I'm Perry, Brother Perry, traveling through Alcaire on my way back to Pariah Abbey. Ingrid Van offered me a room for the night. It just happened to be the night the Supernal Dreamers attacked.
Do you know why they attacked?
They serve Vermina, the Daedric Prince of Nightmares. I know this because I am an initiate at Pariah Abbey. We knew the Dreamers were active in Alcaire, but their intentions for Ingrid Van suggest a more aggressive plan than we imagined. The supernal dreamers have put her into an enchanted sleep, tied down in front of a portal, undoubtedly from Vermina's dark domain. They will summon a Daedric spirit to inhabit Ingrid's body. You need to break the enchantment to free her. It will not be easy, and you will need to move quickly, but it can be done. You will need to reverse the Daedric ritual, which will require gathering a few somewhat grisly items. Then you must follow the directions exactly to break the spell. You will need to acquire the hearts of 2 different Daedra. A Scamp and a Dremora should do. Then find my ritual candle in the Van's barn. Take the items to where Ingrid lies in the Stonebridge Mill, and there you will perform the ritual. Offer the Dremora heart first to summon the dark spirit. Then light the ritual candle to enchant it. And finally, offer the Scamp heart to dispel it. Memorize this, for it must be done in this order.
Quality material makes for quality goods. Hostilities ended. Now to relax. If we must. To Apocrypha with you.
Are there any more scamps down there? Bring them on, I say. Scamp Killer is my middle name. I can still wield a blade just like when I was a young man. Just watch!
You, cohort! We can use this. Mora's twitching tentacles. I'm glad that's done. They want to fight, do they? And that's done. What's next? To Apocrypha with you. Apocrypha take you!
Is this the real world? Or is this yet another trick? I will not let the darkness in. Wait. This is real, isn't it? You're real. Was it you who woke me? Then I am indebted to you, stranger. That nightmare. I thought I would be stuck there forever. Wait, what about Rosen? Was that real, or was it just a dream? Where is she? Do you know? I think it was real. You have to help me!
Who's Rosen?
My daughter. And if they've harmed one hair, I'll salt all Tamriel with their blood. I just have to find her. There was something in the dream, a cultist standing over Rosen reading a scroll. It's on Nightmare Crag. Out of my way.
You're in no condition to go after her.
Then you have to go. They're doing the same thing to her they wanted to do to me, but worse. There's something about that scroll. Please, get that scroll and find a way to pull her back. You have to!
I'll go look for the scroll and do everything I can for Rosen.
A most auspicious find. We can use this.
Go away! So far, all the crazy people and monsters have just ignored this house. If you keep knocking, they'll come and kill you. And then they'll break down the door and kill me!
It's safe now. Come out and I'll take you to your brother.
Safe? You really expect me to believe that? I saw those things. I saw what they did to the farmhands. There's no way I'm coming out there.
If you don't look, you won't know when it's safe.
I guess you're right. All right, I'll come out for a peek. And if it's clear, we can make a run for it. But you'd better protect me. Let's get going then! I'm not stopping here. Those things are too close. I'll meet you at the castle, Finis.
I'm glad that's over. We need to get back to Camlorn. See you around. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I've just been under a lot of stress with this whole situation. Here's something for your help. It's not much, but we have a long trip ahead of us. I'm sure you understand.
Good find, cohort.
Orcs, the vermin among us. They lair in holes. They breed in huge numbers and smell like rotted meat. I speak not of skeevers, gentle reader, but of orcs. The threat on the horizon, the unrelenting horde. But, Zorik, I hear you saying, are they not our allies now? It's good that you want to believe in the leadership of King Emmerich. It's good that you want to believe in this covenant that now binds us to the beastmen of Orsinium. But in truth, your belief is foolish. Your trust in the king is misplaced, for those subhumans have a cruel and vicious cunning. Like a hunting wolf pack, the orcs lie still in the tall grass. They wait for us to let down our guard, and even great men like His Majesty can be misled by the simple tactic. They now walk among us. They serve in the honored Lion Guard. They take work as sell swords protecting our wealthiest merchants. They infiltrate our temple as bodyguards for holy men. Gentle reader, do you not see? Can't you see how every luxury we give these animals only encourages them? Every opportunity is just another opening in our armor for their rough-hewn blades to pierce. With their unnatural strength, they take up work that should be borne by Breton soldiers. The thickness of their stinking hides gives them a defense that no Redguard man can stand against. In cities across Covenant lands, stories grow of orcs defiling our women and sire unnatural half-breeds. How long will you let this stand, reader? How long will you bend a knee to these filthy animals? I say no more. Join with like-minded people in your village today and rise up against these beasts, these scums, these orc. Oh, good. Racism in Nirn. Great. One fascinating thing that I've noticed in my playthrough, especially this time, is that I've come across a few roleplay groups, guilds. I don't really participate in, I never participate in, I should say, but I do find it funny that they will roleplay as orcs and roleplay out the racism that they have to deal with in the game that they see in Raid. Kind of an interesting take on playing the game. The omen of deception. Go away. Amid the deep layers of the realm of Quagmire resides spirits who has long earned to wreak destruction upon the mortals of Nirn, to spread lies and deceptions across their tawdry realm. Amongst all of Vermina's pets, the spirit remains the most hidden, the most secretive. He is known by many names, but none of them true, which has made his summoning impossible for centuries. But Vermina whispered his name in my sleeping ear last night, whilst I dreamed of darkness. She bid me to unleash his foul influence in Tamriel, to drive the people of that world to distrust and betrayal. To summon him, you must first light the 4 braziers, and slay whoever you offer as sacrifice, and finally speak the dangerous true name. The sacrificial blood must be freshly spilled, but take great care to ensure the sacrifice is fully dead. If the sacrifice were to retain any trace of life, Daedra would be summoned in a weak and a susceptible state, and were something to happen to her pet, Vermina would not be pleased.
Mora's many tentacles! Another chance at perfection.
vessel is not repaired, then you will be my vessel.
My mother. She was in the dream too. Is she... I have to get home.
Someday you'll make something surprising with that. Interrupting scholarship! Pleasant when the environmental and geographic elements of a locus are so neat.
Surely the Eight sent you to save us. Me, my daughter, we owe you our lives. Do you always go to such great lengths to help people you don't even know?
Not always.
Well, I'm glad you decided to do so today. You will always, always be welcome at the Van Farm. Stay as long as you like. This whole thing was like some terrible nightmare. It reminds me of the day I lost my husband so many years ago. I don't know if you can understand. I've moved on, but sometimes I still feel a little lonely.
William Nuren recently became a widower. The guy that his wife just tried to murder him.
William, a widower. I'm so sorry to hear that. Poor Rosalie, may the 8 bless her soul. Are you suggesting Maybe I will pay the Nurins a visit. I appreciate the suggestion.
You're matchmaking her to the guy whose wife just tried to kill him 10 minutes ago for Vermina so she can join the cult. And the thing is the wife betraying her husband wasn't even 20 seconds of the story. Like, she was like, you come across the village on fire, and she's like, my husband's dead. And she's like, but my daughter is missing. Can you find my daughter? And you find the daughter, and the daughter's like, no, my dad, I can't find him, but I don't believe he's dead. I know in my heart he's not dead. So then you guys joined me as I was cresting the hill and found it. And then he was like, it was her, she killed it. So, like, it was such a small part of the story, but a huge impact to the story.
Please, can we be away from here as quickly as possible? I'd like to retain the current number of apertures in my skull.
I have no idea why he's saying this. He'll say something a little later, too, about not wanting to be here, but that's it. There's nothing else in the story.
My poor little baby, all alone out there. If you're leaving the village, if you could please look out for my son. With these slavers about, I'm afraid something terrible has happened.
When did you last see him?
Breakfast. I made his favorite, biscuits and jam. Then he went out to play. That good-for-nothing deputy won't even go look for him. But the slavers could have shipped Lucas off to Morrowind by now.
Why won't the deputy help?
He says that securing the town comes first. But the town seems perfectly secure to me. Someone has to help my baby.
Okay, don't worry. I'll go find him.
If you find Lucas, I'll be eternally grateful. He's just an innocent boy. In a minute, I'll have to go get dinner ready. But I'm going to keep his plate warm.
Any idea which way he went?
Sometimes he goes fishing on the beach just south of the village. He wears his little boots. Oh, my poor little boy. Please find him. You have to.
Okay, that's kind of weird, because Elder Scrolls Online has no children. The excuse I had heard about having no children was they were afraid that the players would try to kill them. But yeah, there's absolutely no children in Elder Scrolls Online. So, I don't know what this child's about.
Quality material makes for quality goods. Going to need a moment. I'm not a young man.
These papers show plans to take over the Koglin Lighthouse and extinguish those lights. I should take these to the village and give them to a deputy.
Tremendous!
Ooh, here's one that'll fetch a high price.
God strike you! Couldn't you have just waited 5 more minutes? The slavers outside the tent were talking about where their base of operations is. Then they got interrupted. I'm guessing they saw you. My mom sent you, didn't she?
You're Margot's little boy.
Exactly. My mother's a little overprotective. She still tries to tuck me into bed at night. It's embarrassing. And now she's messed up the whole plan. I actually came here to spy on the slavers.
What were you hoping to learn?
Anything and everything. With Constable Pascal acting strange, Deputy Urich and I took the initiative. I may not have heard where their base of operations is, but there are plans for some other attack floating around the camp.
I found these plans already.
You did? Well, then I guess we can consider this operation a success.
If you haven't already, we just need to get those plans to Deputy Urich in the village.
I guess I should go reassure my mother.
Get those plans back as fast as you can. May the Eight protect you.
I am a scholar, damn it!
Praise the Eight! Slavers stormed the lighthouse and put out the signal fire. I couldn't figure out why. Then I realized. It's a trap. They wait for ships to crash on the rocks so they can loot the cargo and capture the crew. One ship already crashed.
We need to relight the signal fire.
And we need to do it fast. Problem is, the slavers took the focusing crystals and all my oil. Some of it is still on the island, but they also put some on their ship.
I'll get the oil and crystals back.
I don't think the slavers knew what to do with the focusing crystals. Those may be close by. But the oil, they probably took that on board their ship. If you can recover the supplies, I'll be ready to relight the fire. Godspeed to you, my friend.
How did you avoid capture?
When the slavers first stormed the lighthouse, I swam over to the beach and ran into the woods. Later, I saw the signal fire was out, so I snuck back. I've been hiding here ever since.
Set it ablaze! Someday you'll make something surprising with that. Ugh! Dirt fungus.
Help me, please!
That could prove useful in our work. Fires of oblivion. These motherless slavers have captured my entire crew.
I'm not one to shy away from a fight, but I think I may be in over my head. Captain Angerthal, the fobbing dog. Crewless slaver in the Azurian Sea, and now in Iliac Bay. He must have put out the signal fire in the lighthouse. It was pitch black. We hit the rocks and the slavers were all over us. Captured the entire crew.
Where are they?
Slavers took most of the crew up the beach, but Salak, Leidenar, and Ozor are still there. Other captives too, but they're no concern of mine. I'm too waterlogged to fight, but if you'll free my men, I'll make it worth your while.
I'll free your men.
Watch out for Captain Angerthal. His axes are stained with the blood of more sailors than I can count. He's a monster. Hey though, if you're feeling tough, I say take that bastard out. Won't hear any complaints from me. I don't know for sure, but I overheard something about the slavers taking over a village up the beach. I'm betting they took the rest of the crew there. If there's a silver lining to that cloud, it's that they're out of Captain Angerthal's reach. Never met the man myself, but his name's well known in these waters. Angerthal's notorious for terrorizing the Abetian Sea, enslaving the Altmer. Guess he joined up with this outfit after the Ebonheart Pact was formed.
Quality material makes for quality goods. Time for tea then.
I owe you one. Thanks.
Take a few of these Dunmer dogs out for me, too.
Another chance at perfection.
I'm writing from Necrom to inform you that House Telvanni requires a very specific list of new subjects for events planned in the next few months. We are delighted to hear you are targeting Breton villages along the Urich Bay and will offer significant incentive if you are able to deliver subjects that fit the following criteria. 6 young women, all under the age of 20 years, at least 1 brunette, 2 blondes, and at least 1 woman of significant girth, preferably extremely pale. 7 young men, all under the age of 24 years. Hair color is irrelevant, but make sure they're not too hairy. Physique is critical, as at least 5 will be used for labor. Tall and skinny would be preferred for the remaining 2. If one might have blue eyes, that would be preferred as well. 2 elderly men, but they must be healthy. We're not looking for men on their deathbeds. We're looking for those men to serve as chaperones, so it's also critical they have good eyesight. Lastly, any gender age is acceptable, but it's of highest necessity that we get someone who has intimate knowledge of swine, as we're in desperate need of a new pig keeper. The last one was eaten. For any acquisition that fulfills these requests, we will offer twice the normal rate. Other favors will be offered as well, based on the number of requests filled overall. I wish you swift and safe sailing, Sarah. We dealt quite a bit with the Telvanni because we did Necrom. It's actually the very first part of the series that I played because we started in Necrom with the new DLC update. And so we dealt quite heavily with the Telvanni, and what's really funny is that they'll half deny that they're doing slavery, and so now you see this. But to be fair, Necrom came after this. Necrom was first. Or, I mean, this was first. But yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Fetch a pretty penny in Balmora.
My mother told me not to go to sea.
Ozor, Salak, and Leidenar are free, and Captain Angerthal is dead. I believe this day is getting better. I may have lost my... They were marched off to the east. My first mate went after them, but I can't imagine she'll be able to free them alone. If you travel in that direction, keep an eye out for her. If she doesn't return soon, I may just have to track her down myself.
Laceration. Wounded.
You have killed many. I have killed more. Fool, you are outclassed.
Extraordinary. Astounding. Congratulations.
The plan is in place. You are but an inconvenience.
We can use this. Ugh! Dirt fungus.
Zora's mini tentacles.
I am familiar with that expression.
There's a sight for sore eyes, and surely a guiding light for any ships coming into port. You saved the lives of a lot of sailors. I'm just hoping there was only one ship that crashed on the rocks. I could lose my job over this. If anyone asks, I hope you'll tell them it wasn't my fault.
Alright, I will be back real quick with another episode. We just have one more hour with a mic missing, and then after that we will be all fixed and better. Thanks for keeping me company.